Bonjour, Tinamagin Ireland Indigenous, and welcome to this overview of our Week 16 learning plan and announcements. Welcome on this windy Wednesday night, as we're recording this video ahead of Thursday's distribution. Want to make sure that you get this edition prior to Friday when we have a field trip coming up to the Painted Turtle here in Mount Pleasant. As always, we start in our stream page. This is accessible to your students via their Chromebook or the Google Classroom app available in the App Store or from Google Play. They can use their @sagchipschool.net emails and have this on their personal phone, or you can have it on a phone of yours where they can log in and you can kind of keep up with how they're doing. Now, I will add that if you ever check their assignment part, we don't use that feature, so it may show them a bunch of missing assignments. That's inaccurate. There is contact information for me. You can reach me at mireland@sagchipschool.net or at mireland@sagchip.org or my Google Voice number. If you are messaging me via Google Voice, please include your name and your student's name, and please be understanding that there are certain things that I cannot discuss via text, and I would ask to make a phone call with you. We have December's breakfast and lunch menus, and this will be attached when we send out the email, so you have a copy of these. Paper copies were sent home last week, but we know how that turns out. Some older newsletters, our book fair homepage, we'll talk about that in a minute. And as you scroll down, you can see our school calendar. So if you're wondering, when does winter break begin? When does it end? When's the end of the second quarter? All that stuff is available right there. We also have our class remind and some links to our school webpage and also my teacher page. Let's take a moment and show you the book fair. And this link is attached in the newsletter, and I will attach this link when I send out the email tomorrow. And this is the virtual version. You can see the dates. You can sign up for exclusive offers from Scholastic, some calendar dates here. You can preview the books from the fair. It's a really cool thing. Instead of just having that paper copy that will be sent home with students, you can check it out and you can purchase books right from here. So that kind of makes it a little bit easier. You know the book is available. You can see no buy one, get one pricing isn't applicable online. That's not this book here anyway. I also linked in that page to our school website. And as you look down, there is a live feed. So you can see when there are cancellations or delays. Ms. Christina Sharp, our education director, will post these almost as soon as she's done sending out the reminds and through the information through the web store that you can access right here. You can download this app, allow for push notifications, and get this sent right to your phone. You don't have to sit and hope that it's made it to the TV or that the website that you normally check is updated quickly enough. You'll know right away. You could also check this page. If you want information related just to the 5th grade class, you can hit menu, teacher pages. You can find mine, Michael Ireland. Click on the 5th grade. The bio stuff is, you've seen it before. And this is also where I keep our learning plan. And I've started to also put in announcements that school is closed. You might find a link to the book fair before too long up there as we get closer. Just a spot for information. Nothing on this page will ever be pressing that you need to know today. We will use other methods to making sure that you get that information. All right, let's look at our newsletter today. Just a note on homework. Some students are getting very good, even with the long Thanksgiving break, of making sure they complete the assignment. So those skills that will be necessary in middle school are being developed. You can always check with your student if they, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, if they did their homework. Those 2 days of the week are automatics, where I'll give an assignment at the end of the day. Also, any work that's not completed during the day should be taken home and completed. My goal isn't to set students with a lot of work at night. but sometimes if the student's taking their time, they may not finish something, and it is still part of their expectations to complete those assignments. If you have questions about whether your student is completing work, please just feel free to email me. An important note, our winter program originally scheduled for next week. The 7th has been rescheduled due to circumstances beyond our control for Wednesday, February 8th. More information about that will come in the future. Friday, it's the reason that this issue is going to be going home on Thursday this week. We will be visiting the Painted Turtle. They'll have an opportunity to paint, so you might not want to send them their best, most fancy shirt because, well, if your student is anything like me, I'm probably going to get paint on it. So just kind of giving you a heads up there. The Scholastic link here, and that will be attached in the email tomorrow, or on Thursday, I should say. But it is there for you to type in. A quick review of what we're covering. We're working on multiplying and dividing decimals, moving into the era of French, British, and Spanish colonization, finishing up on the water, where our water is, and particularly accessible drinkable water, fresh water. And we're continuing to work on writing a biography in class. We have some new words here. Noden, it is windy. Ndodum, my clan. Makwa, bear. Ajijak, crane. And Gagoon, fish. These are all accessible through the People's Dictionary. It's a really cool site. I suggest you check it out. Last but not least is our week 16 at a glance. And I always preface this part of the video by telling you that this is all subject to change. By the time I send you this email, something probably will have changed. It's just how things work. Students might get ahead of schedule or behind schedule, or a special comes up, we have another opportunity, or we just need to change our pace. This just kind of gives you an idea of what we're studying. Reading, we'll be looking at some people who do different art jobs in the tech sphere. And you can look at website creation, digital artists, music artists, and then bloggers. Writing, we're continuing on and completing our biographies and working on a compare and contrast piece. My math, we're continuing on multiplication and division, decimals. Science will be wrapping up and going to the unit review. We will have the unit test prior to the winter break. Social studies, we're looking at English and French and Spanish colonization, but this section really, the book part really does focus on the English, but being we live here in the Great Lakes where we were part of New France, in addition to being indigenous territory. So we want to make sure we cover all of that so students have an idea of where we are at and also what they'll need to know as far as U.S. history. Geometry will be continuing chapter 2. We'll be looking at some decimal place value and decimal comparison. We'll quiz on those later in the week. That's another opportunity for students to earn a 3. Our regular tech, you can see our Wondrous Educational block, pretty standard materials there. I do send home a checklist, well, send them a checklist to kind of help guide them. As we do have groups that get pulled for SEL, sometimes they may not get them all on the day that's scheduled. The requirement is just to have it complete by the end of the week. And then you can see some of our small groups. What's not reflected there is our smaller groups. Those are more determined on an individual student and where we can give them some further information or help them develop a skill or remediating struggles that a student may have. And you will know that on Thursdays we go to the library here at SCA. That wraps up the informational portion of this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please contact me at mireland@sagechipschool.net or mireland@sagechip.org. I hope everyone has a great rest of this week, a wonderful weekend, and I look Forward to seeing your students in the morning. Have a Minogishigad, Minwa, Mamapi.